Aday Mara, the 7'3", nearly 250-pound, 18-year-old center from Spain, will be joining a loaded UCLA roster for this upcoming college basketball season. Now, this news is not only great for college basketball fans, but for NBA fans too. That's because Mara could be one of the first players to be selected in the 2024 NBA Draft. So in today's video, I'm breaking down Mara's game and explaining why I think he's going to be the next great European big man. And then, at the end of this video, I'm going to give you some of my favorite NBA comparisons for Aday Mara. How's it going today, guys? This is Troy with the Half Court Report YouTube channel. Real quick, before we get into it, be sure you like this video. Be sure you are subscribed so you never miss any of my NBA content. Would appreciate your support. Let's get into it. And I want to begin by talking about Aday Mara's physical profile. He's not only 7'3" with a 7'7" wingspan, but he's about 250 pounds and has the type of frame that should fill out well over the next few years. He's a beast now, but just give him a couple more years. And yeah, I know that looking like an NBA player is only part of the story. You have to back it up with your play on the court. But fortunately, Aday Mara does that too. He has an elite skill that separates him from almost every other 7-foot-plus center that has come through the draft in recent years. Mara is a sensational passer with elite court vision, feel for the game, and playmaking skills. If he catches the ball outside of the restricted area, his first instinct is to scan the floor and look for cutters and open shooters along the perimeter. Mara's passes are extremely accurate. That allows him to find his teammates both in transition with a long-range outlet pass or in the half court by threading the needle through a tight window to get it to his teammate. As expected for a man of Aday Mara's size, the game comes easy for him around the basket too. He's able to leverage his size to establish deep position in the post. Not only that, his outstanding wingspan allows him to catch entry passes, convert lobs, and secure contested offensive rebounds with relative ease. However, Mara's impact around the basket is not just due to his enormous size. He's also extremely polished for his age. For instance, he's patient in the paint, routinely utilizing pump fakes to get defenders off position, and his footwork is impressive. All that, combined with his coordination and nimble feet, allows Mara to find the open space in the paint on a pretty consistent basis. Mara's touch around the basket is also impressive. Not only is he able to convert the easy shot, he possesses a great ability to convert floaters, layups, or hook shots beyond the restricted area. Just as impressive as his finesse is Mara's ability to finish with force, as he can routinely go up for powerful dunks against contact, both in post-ups and pick-and-roll situations. All in all, his skill set fits the modern NBA. He's already a capable floor spacer who can step out and hit the three on occasion. In terms of his offense, that is something he's working to improve on, but being that he's only 18 years old, that's something he has lots of time to improve, and it bodes well for his future as a stretch big. So overall, his offensive game is really solid. He's got the size, he's got the passing, and he can put the ball in the basket. This is a guy who knows how to play, sets good screens, has an understanding of angles on the court, understands spacing, and overall, just a plus on the offensive end. So now let's talk about defense. And on that end of the floor, Mara is a game changer in the lane, altering and rejecting tons of shots, and overall just being an intimidator. Oftentimes, he just needs to be in the right place at the right time to provide a level of rim deterrence. While Mara is a tremendous on-ball defender who can successfully contest shots and block shots around the basket, basically just by standing there with his arms up, he does lack a level of elite quickness to elevate, and he can be late to block shots that require him to rotate in the paint. Along the perimeter, Mara can occasionally get caught on pick-and-roll switches where he's clearly more comfortable in drop coverage as opposed to hedging and pressuring ball handlers. His high center of gravity and lack of ability to turn his hips quickly can limit that ability to get low in a defensive stance and slide laterally. So while drop coverage could be a sound strategy to place Mara around the basket, it can also lead to shooters having too much space and too much time to get their shot off. So as I mentioned earlier on in the video, I want to end things today by looking at some NBA comparisons for Aday Mara. And yeah, when you see a big man with the court vision that Mara has, it's very tempting to draw comparisons to Nikola Jokic, the two-time MVP. It's a sexy title for a YouTube video, but let's let Mara play a few college games first before we anoint him as the next chosen one. The first comparison I want to throw out there is Zydrunas Ilgauskas. If you've been watching the NBA for a long time, you'll remember that Big Z is 7'3", and when he played, was very skilled with the ball in his hands, had great touch from mid-range, and was a very good passer. Ilgauskas was never a dominant force, but he did provide many years of value, primarily for the Cleveland Cavaliers, after being selected in the first round in the mid-90s. Z was also a solid defender in the paint, a good rebounder, and overall, just a quality big man with a modern-type game. He even made an all-star team in there. Another comparison, and maybe it's the Spanish thing, but I see a lot of Pau Gasol in Aday Mara's game. Mara is taller and not quite as fluid as Gasol, but they have similar skill sets and overall similar games. Like Gasol, Mara is an advanced passer and facilitator who can operate as an offensive hub. That's something a lot of NBA teams need these days, so it's not a stretch to see some Gasol in Mara's game. I'll also throw out the name of Arvydas Sabonis. Sabonis was Jokic before there was a Jokic. Unfortunately, injuries had already taken their toll on Sabonis before he came to the NBA in the mid-90s, but in Europe, he was a monster in the paint with good touch at the rim, very good mid-range shooting, and that elite passing ability. So we're still a ways away from the 2024 NBA draft, but Aday Mara is a guy I'll be keeping my eye on. His mix of size, coordination, offensive polish, and rim protection is not something you see in a prospect every day. Any team will value Mara as a player with a tremendously high floor due to the impact he can make around the basket from day one. Guys, let me know in the comments, what do you think of Aday Mara's game, and what do you think about him playing college basketball in the States? If you're a UCLA fan, how excited are you to see Aday Mara play for the Bruins? Be sure to click that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel to show your support. There is another international prospect that I'm looking forward to seeing. Sasha Vezenkov just signed with the Sacramento Kings, and I think his game is going to surprise a lot of people. In fact, I see a lot of Peja Stojakovic in Vezenkov's game. I did a whole video on him and what he's going to bring to the NBA. Check it out, and I'll catch you next time.